Hello everyone, I'm Rasha Goel. Here's what's happening in LA this week. The city of Los Angeles came together last week to mark the 20th anniversary of 9/11. We begin this week's episode with the stories of two members of the Los Angeles Fire Department that were deployed to New York the very same day as the attacks. Take a look.
When we were first watched the towers collapse, many of us contacted our urban search and rescue unit to see if this was a possibility that we could actually be deployed. At that time, we had done a lot of training with our urban search and rescue team, but we had never really been on an actual deployment anywhere near that magnitude, obviously. And then when we basically were getting the call out that, yeah, we're going to be going to this, it was actually a horrific feeling, but also exciting because we knew that we were going to be part of something so big. And when we were all together at 88th and Sherman Oaks, where we actually pick up all of our equipment, and to know that we were actually going to be deployed on the night of September 11th, we were very optimistic that we were actually going to possibly be able to save people, to be able to be on an incident that early on. So we were optimistic that we were going to be doing a lot of good. We realized that we weren't going to be saving a lot of people when we finally got there.
So there's two phases. We started in the rescue phase. We were assigned to what's called the west sector, which is basically south, the furthest most southern western portion of the collapse zone. When we do searches, we start with the dogs. They get a hit, we confirm and continue on like that. And then we do delayering, and so as we're working these areas and searching these void spaces, we did what's called a blitz. That first shift, we did a full team blitz for the whole first almost 48 hours. That team, and working alongside everyone else, alongside the FDNY firefighters, alongside other USAR teams that were there, just working this area and coordinating with each other to do the best we could. If you can find a positive side, the positive side to it, which is all these people that didn't know each other coming together to help, working side by side, that forever that bond will be there. I mean, to this day in the system that we work in, there's still people that I deal with on a regular basis that we were there together. Again, yes, this was tragic, but from this came this commitment, this partnership, this brotherhood, for lack of a better term, of us joining together and helping each other, despite the differences in everybody, despite all these different things. None of those things mattered. We all came together, we helped, and that's what we need to focus on moving forward and remembering.
At Los Angeles City Hall, Councilmember Paul Koretz and Capri Maddox of LA Civil Rights led a memorial service where young Angelenos read names of those we lost 20 years ago. The event reflected on how our community came together in solidarity and how we can use that power as a force for good.
Joseph Patrick Henry. William L. Henry.
We have an opportunity to reflect and to never forget the horrors of 9/11. However, it's important to see how in that tragedy, we all came together. We were all united. We were all solution-oriented to make sure that this kind of thing didn't happen again.
By striving to ensure that we celebrate the diversity of our community and causing dialogue among our residents, so that we may foster an environment of acceptance and embracement, we will help prevent the horrors of another 9/11, for we must never forget.
I think it really is something that we should try to remember, that we should try having more students, more individuals be aware with what happened, the implications of the events. So I really do think that it's important for us to remember what happened, to pass it down to the future generations.
No creo que nunca podíamos pensar que iba a pasar algo así, pero también me recuerdo más del amor que pasó ese día porque la gente se unió juntos para ayudar a los que se afectaron ese día.
God give peace to their souls and strength to their families.
Los Angeles, let's not miss the moment of learning how to love and to be united and to come together to make sure that we are stronger than ever as we honor those lives lost, our victims, our heroes, and the families that still remain.
Mark Hindi, Katsuyuki Hirai, Heather Malia Ho.
Los Angeles is once again at the forefront of technology and inclusion. The latest program, Angeleno Connect, will make it possible for the nearly 500,000 Angelenos who are unbanked to be able to access city services, get online, and start free mobile banking. Channel 35 was on site for the launch event.
Hoy estamos aquí para el comienzo de un nuevo proyecto de Angeleno Connect que provee cuentas bancarias gratis para familias en la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
Today is a very exciting day. We are coming up with a whole new model to ensure that there's financial inclusion in the city of Los Angeles.
It also empowers your economic and financial journey by giving you tools and access to things you need for yourself and for your family. Angeleno Connect is making your life easier. It'll make 500,000 Angelenos who today aren't connected with a bank have access to banking products that too often have bypassed our communities of color and our low-income neighborhoods.
We must prioritize assisting the nearly, as the mayor indicated, 500,000 Angelenos who are unbanked. I did say unbanked because we need to have them more connected. This program leverages the best of our capabilities and our capacities with the public and private sector working together. When the public and private sector work together, things happen.
At CCMP, we work diligently and with passion to ensure that low-income households who are often overlooked, ignored, or disregarded are provided with equal access to essential services, including connections to resources and services that build financial security.
It means a lot to the Black and brown community to be able to establish credit, to be able to have a banking system that's not predatory, that does not take advantage of them. And so that's why I'm on board with this.
To find out more about the Angeleno Connect program, visit lacity.org/Angeleno Connect. Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell is continuing his monthly food distributions with the Salvadoran American Leadership and Educational Fund. O'Farrell's partnership with SALIF helps hundreds of Angeleno families and serves as a resource center for the community. Check it out.
Este evento que estamos viendo hoy es nuestra distribución de comida que tenemos todos los meses con el concejal O'Farrell. Este es parte de una serie que empezó en el 2020 y termina hasta diciembre 2021.
There's still significant food insecurity, so that's why we're here. You know, on our monthly food distribution with SALEF and Sustainable Economic Enterprises of Los Angeles, who do our farmers markets, and we're doing COVID testing too. So it's kind of an all-in day of events once a month here.
Que es una gran ayuda porque la situación que estamos viviendo hoy día es bien difícil. Todos sin trabajo en casa y es difícil. Y eso es una gran ayuda que nos han dado.
We distribute on average about 150 boxes a month, and it's several meals within a box. So it'll feed us a family for the better part of a week.
La meta de estos eventos son de proporcionar a la comunidad no solamente con comida, que nuestras bolsas traen aproximadamente 4 días de comida para que las familias puedan comer por 4 días, pero también hay muchos recursos muy útiles dentro de nuestra bolsa, ya sean de servicios de asistencia de renta, si necesita saber información acerca de servicios legales, si se necesita vacunar, necesita información acerca de su salud.
It's a really great thing, and there's a lot of need out there still.
September is National Preparedness Month. Boyle Heights breaks ground on their first Prop 68 funded park. And don't put those swimming trunks away just yet. These stories up next on City Beat.
September is National Preparedness Month. During this time, efforts are made to raise awareness about the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies. Start by making a plan for how your family will communicate before, during, and after a disaster. Talk to your kids about preparing for emergencies and what to do in case you are separated. Build a kit of supplies that will last several days after a disaster for everyone living in your home. Make sure that provisions are made for all family members who have any special needs. Finally, be sure to factor in the family pets. For more information and tips on emergency preparedness, visit ready.gov. Councilmember Kevin De Leon took part in the groundbreaking for the Matthews Street Park in Council District 14. This new Boyle Heights Park will be the first in Los Angeles built through funding sources outlined by Prop 68. Proposition 68 authorized $4 billion in bonds for state and local parks, environmental protections, and water infrastructure projects. The Los Angeles City Department of Recreation and Parks wants to give Angelenos extra time to swim this summer. Seasonal hours for public pools have now been extended until September 26th. Extending seasonal pool hours will allow residents to stay active and beat the heat until the summer season officially ends. Extended hours will only apply to select pools throughout Los Angeles, so find out more by calling 311 or you can visit laparks.org.
Drew Fioretti, CEO and president of Para Los Niños, recently sat down with Maria Hall Brown to discuss how a child care center for Skid Row blossomed into a network of family service centers in Los Angeles.
The power of one for the benefit of the many. It was in 1980 that a social worker, Tanya Tull, saw that there was a need to help the youth in Skid Row. Well, needless to say, a lot has changed with the program since then, and I'm delighted today to be joined by the CEO and president of Para Los Niños, Drew Fioretti. Okay, 1980, one person, one space, who knows how many children that were being helped, cut to 40 plus years later. Oh my word.
It's breathtaking.
It
right?
is.
It's amazing. I think amazing from a number of points. One is that here's, as you said, here's a social worker who sees something in the social conditions of youth and says, this will not be. And gets a bunch of civic-minded people to say, okay, you're right. It cannot be, not in this place. And go and rehab a warehouse. And like you said, fast forward 41 years. We are in 17 locations across LA, doing everything from working with babies in our preschools and in our early education centers, all the way up to youth that have been knocked off the path, and we're helping to partner with them to get back on the path, and everything in between. We have mental health therapists, we have family case aides and case managers and social workers, all saying what is in the way of success? Well, it shouldn't be.
Sure. Well, and I mean, needless to say, it's not surprising that what Tanya saw as a social worker, just a safe space for children to, to play and to learn, etc., has morphed and changed and everything over the years. But where are you seeing Para Los Niños needing to go with all of this new information and all of these new concerns that you have realized over the last 18 months, but also over the last 41 years?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's a big answer, so don't try to
yeah,
make it totally.
I'll just react a few different ways. One is, look, it goes a little bit to that deepening of the work. Mm-hmm. I think some people think about, like, what's the future of an organization? They think about how do you expand the number of people you're impacting and supporting. We think about this not about how many more will we serve, but how deep do we need to get and can we get. So for us, that's adding social workers or adding family support specialists or people that are there to really be right next to parents, right next to students. What is it that's going on and how can we help? this stuff works. The idea of thinking about things holistically, it works.
Well, how delightful to talk with you today, and how inspiring in so many ways. And you are a very mindful person. I can sense it from across the table, so thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it was great chatting.
Likewise, thank you.
To find out more about Para Los Niños and the services they provide, check them out online at paralosninos.org. The Alliance for Community Empowerment, a nonprofit in the West Valley, is the proud recipient of $500,000 from state funds, thanks to the help from Assemblymember Jesse Gabrielle. The much-needed money will be used to help youth development programs in Council District 3.
So today was one of my best days in public service. I was able to present the Alliance for Community Empowerment, which is an extraordinary nonprofit here in the West San Fernando Valley that is uplifting underserved families and youth with a $500,000 check. This is money that we fought for in the state budget, and we're able to bring home here to the West Valley so that this nonprofit can continue to do its extraordinary work and to serve this community that I'm so proud to represent.
This $500,000 is absolutely a game changer for our organization.
These funds will have an impact on so many individuals. Individuals like a young man that I'm going to be inviting up to speak.
As I came into the program, I had a bit struggles coming in, but over the time, these people weren't really giving up on me after, I gave up on myself a few times, I am now currently working on receiving my diploma in this December, as well as getting ready to take the next step into my career as a PV solar installer trainee.
One of the really special things about this organization is that a lot of people look at Canoga Park and some of the underserved parts of the West Valley, and they see poverty, and they see unemployment, and they see statistics, and this is an organization that sees potential and opportunity and extraordinarily talented young people. They have helped empower hundreds of young people. They have helped change this community.
People will be able to get connections to jobs, as well as internships, and help them find places where they can give back ultimately.
With their support network, I was able to get myself into some good opportunities and programs that actually help give back to my community.
On behalf of Alliance for Community Empowerment and the West Valley community, we are so grateful for the support of our city council member, our assembly member. We are a community that is often overlooked, and we are so grateful to have elected officials that do not overlook, that are there advocating for the needs of our community.
For the first time since the pandemic, teens got together at the Chinatown branch of the Los Angeles Public Library for a painting event at the neighboring Ord and Yale Street Park. Painter and librarian Lynn Nguyen led a class on recreating LA cityscape.
We have about 7 teens today being led by our YA librarian, Lynn, and they're painting a Los Angeles cityscape. It's pretty exciting, not just because it's the first program, but also because it's the first time that the teens have gathered since pre-pandemic for a program.
Now that we have this park, it's an opportunity for us to do in-person programming safely for them. It's really exciting. They're talking to each other, they're socializing, they're learning about each other and sharing information, and it's just fun for them.
I feel like painting makes me feel relaxed because doing both school and all the extracurriculars makes me feel anxious and also stressed a little bit. So I need to release stress by painting. So when I'm painting, I can talk to my friends and also using the brush to express myself. So it's a form of releasing stress.
I am a painter and I'm a librarian. But when you're a librarian, you get to wear all sorts of hats. I love art, and I feel like there's not enough art that is being taught in schools. So when I'm able to expose them to that type of experience, it can teach them a lot of different things about themselves that they never knew before.
It's very beneficial to do programs in person, so it's better to socialize with people and exchange ideas and just learn things from others and others can learn things from you.
Now, if painting isn't your thing, how about some local music? Over at the Center for the Arts Eagle Rock, the team from the Department of Cultural Affairs held a live music and art event in celebration of the Play Music on the Porch program.
So we're here today to celebrate Play Music on the Porch Day and just get outside and reconnect with our community after not being able to create any live programming for 2 years because of the COVID pandemic.
We're so glad that this is able to happen and that we're able to do it safely and that we're able to like see our friends and some people we know and stuff like that and hear some music. I think it's really exciting.
To be able to do this like safely but also getting to see everyone, it's a lot of new stuff, so it can make you really anxious, but it's exciting.
We haven't been able to gather in person again and to like connect with each other in person and look in people's eyes, and I think that that's just like what folks are missing. We're doing live music. We have 3 acts. We have a new band called Fainting Spells from West LA, another solo artist, singer-songwriter, Flora, also from West LA, and Delanova, a solo bassist who is usually accompanied by another session guitarist or artist. And then we're also doing a DIY zine workshop on our back porch that people can, bounce back and bounce between the two.
Today we have a zine making workshop to come and make your own magazine or art zine. So we have those wonderful teaching artists on site to help with that, and it's a free event. You can just come on up, so you'll be able to do art with music in the background and enjoy the day.
Follow Fainting Spells Music on Instagram.
Yeah, just get vaccinated, be safe, but also have fun and play music.
In our feature story this week, Anita Bennett talks with Councilmember Mark Ridley Thomas about his work on homelessness and why he spearheaded a vaccine mandate for Los Angeles City employees.
There are many changes underway in Council District 10, and the man who represents that area, City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas, is with us today to discuss some of the important issues making headlines. You spearheaded the ordinance that just passed in the City Council mandating that city employees get vaccinated. Why now, and why did you help lead that effort?
The vaccination rate is below what we need in order to reach herd immunity, way below that. We had to do something. After all, public employees are to serve the public, not put the public at risk. Whether you're a firefighter or a police officer or a librarian, whatever the case may be, you have to be healthy. You can't be a spreader.
Let's talk a little bit about homelessness. You did vote for the restrictions on sidewalk encampments. Why did you cast that vote?
This is very well thought out, practical ways of causing us to reclaim these streets and restore dignity to the communities that are impacted, restore a level of civility in those environments, and get people the help that they need and deserve so that lives can be returned to a sense of purpose and worth. No one really wants to be on those streets. In a matter of weeks, you'll see the adoption, I believe, of the street engagement strategy,
yes,
where we have nurses, where we have social workers, housing navigators, and the like, not police officers, working with people in ways that this city has not seen. That's what must happen, and it's our obligation to make sure that they get the help that they need.
Check out the Flight Path Museum's Hispanic Heritage exhibit. Astronaut Jose Hernandez talks about soaring to new heights and explore LA with Discover and Go. These items up next on Things to Do.
Celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month at the Flight Path Museum LAX. The museum will be honoring the significant contributions of airlines from the region and international uniform fashion from airlines such as Trans-Brazil, Mexicana, Volaris, and many more. It's a taste of Hispanic travel culture with a touch of style. Don't miss this informative and engaging narrated virtual tour to see and learn about flying fashion. Flightpath Museum's Hispanic Heritage Month virtual exhibition debuts Friday, September 24th. To join this virtual journey, visit flightpathlax.com. Join astronaut Dr. Jose Hernandez as he takes you on a journey not only to space, but also his journey in life. Dr. Hernandez will be featured in LAPL's LA Made series, where he will talk about the challenges he faced as part of a migrant farm working family and the path he chose to become a NASA astronaut. His life story will soon be featured in the upcoming Netflix movie A Million Miles Away. You can catch the live stream on the library's YouTube channel and Facebook page on September 23rd at 4 p.m. For more info, visit lapl.org/events. Explore LA museums and attractions through this exciting partnership between the Los Angeles Public Library and local cultural institutions. Access Discover and Go with your Los Angeles Public Library card and reserve free or low-cost passes to participating organizations. Find passes to places like the LA Zoo or the Grammy Museum. Want to learn more about how to take advantage of the Los Angeles Public Library and their collaboration with Discover and Go? Well, it's simple. Just go visit lapl.org/explorela. And that's a look at some things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Rasha Goel. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.